My name is Helen Shell, and I'm an artist who works for the Sun Space Art team, where artists and scientists work together. Sun Space Art is a project which uses arts and crafts to teach space science to schools, children and families. It is funded by the STFC, which is the Science and Technologies Facilities Council. Today's activity is how to make Moon and Mars villages. It should take 2 to 4 hours, or it could take longer if you decide you want to make a really big space village. You will need to find out about the solar system planets, the Sun and the Moon from websites and books. The Sun Space Art website has lots of information and resources, and so does NASA, the American Space Agency, and ESA, the European Space Agency, where you can download images and space science facts. I would ask that you look, invent, make and recycle. Remember, if you use recycled objects, please ask an adult first. If you go to the STFC website, you will find that there are some really good space resources which you can order. You can either get actual books and posters, or you can just download them from the website. And remember, you can always go to your local library to get books about space. I'd like to talk to you about how to make a Moon or Mars village. These objects that I have in front of me are little things that I have made earlier and that I use in my workshops. We have a rocket, and as you might be able to see, there's a little plastic top on there from a glue bottle actually. Here is a lunar rover, but you could have a Mars rover. Also, I think if you go to the Moon or Mars, you're absolutely going to need a robot. So I've made some little moon houses. People will not live on Mars for at least 20 to 30 years, but you could think about what houses might be like on Mars. Here is my moon ship. This is all made out of recycled materials. But this took me a long time to make. If you have a really big project that you wanted to do, and say at school, you might all get lots of lovely materials and you might make some really big spaceships. Here's my little moon village. I've got my little lunar bot here. This is a recycled toy. Now the really good thing about this is it's solar activated, so when the sun comes out, it moves. It's because it's got a solar cell in the front there. Now, if you were on the moon, solar energy would be really important. It would be the main energy that you would get. So think about what it would be like to live on the Moon or Mars and make sure you find out about the real science of what it is like. So I've collected a whole lot of materials up here. You might need some other materials as well, but try and use as many recycled materials as possible. I have a great big bucket full of materials that I've collected. These are all things that I've collected from my house. I collect lids from things. They're really nice. Look at the lovely bright colours here. So they're really good for spaceship parts. And then I use things like pen lids, and even got old buttons in there, and anything else really that I can think of. The other thing I like to collect is old bits of magazine, bits of old wrapping paper and things that you can use. For this workshop, I am going to need some double-sided sticky pads, some sellotape, some scissors and some glues. You might want felt tips if you want to colour things in and draw on them as well. So today I'm going to make a Mars house and a couple of rockets. This is an old fruit container and it's a very good shape for a Mars or Moon house. You will need an airlock to catch the dust, like a giant vacuum cleaner, and you will need an airlock so that when you go in, you've got air in your airtight house. I've collected up some really nice images from a magazine. To me, they look a bit spacey, even though none of them actually come from space. First of all, we want to change it, and we don't really want it to look exactly like a piece of plastic. I think that would make a really good roof. So I'm going to take a bit of sellotape and I'm going to stick it on. So that's already changed it. Now, of course, I need some walls on my house, and I quite like this. I think that looks quite good, but I'll just fold it over a bit, and then that can go there. Another good material to use is tin foil. And it's actually aluminium foil. You use a lot of aluminium foil in space, but it's much stronger than this. So I'm just going to tape these two together. So there, I can put that there. Now we've got some really nice geometric designs. So you could, if you like, I've got these out of magazines, but you could get some paper and draw out your design and how you would like it, and then you could stick that on. Now, what we need here is our airlock, and I'm thinking that looks quite a good thing for the front of our airlock. It looks like a door that might open. I need something to wrap around here first, and then I'm going to be able to glue that onto there like so. So there we have the beginnings of a house. You could add to that and put some extra things on it, but that's quite a nice beginning for a little Martian house. So for my rocket, I'm going to cover this rocket in tin foil because I like a nice shiny silver rocket. So I found this earlier and it fits perfectly. So I'm just going to put some sellotape on it to hold it in place. Right, and then I have my lid, which will go on there, and that then looks like a little rocket. Now you can decorate this. So there it is, on gold on one side and jewels on the other. It's a little capsule there. Now you could, if you wanted to, like I say, you could make a little airlock at the bottom for the astronauts to go in. You could think about adding on some thrusters. So that's just the beginning of one and just the start of one that you can work a little bit more on. Now the last thing I'm going to show you is how to make a rocket from scratch. Okay, so you will need a piece of card, and you will also need a circle. Take your sheet of card, and then you need to roll it up like that, and then take a piece of sellotape and just hold it in place. So now you have your basic rocket. So draw around something that's circular, make a nice circle like that, and then cut just one line up to the middle there, and then you wrap it over like that until you've got a cone shape. Before I stick that on, I'm actually going to stick some decoration on it though. And then I'm now going to stick this on. Now for these I'm going to use some double-sided sticky pads because it's quite difficult to stick a cone on there. And then we stick that on like that. And then you could, if you wanted to, you could also add thrusters on. You might, if you want to, add wings on there as well. So we've got a little Mars house, a little gold and silver rocket, and a very colourful rocket. I hope you've enjoyed this workshop and it's given you lots of ideas to make more things about space science using arts and craft techniques. Now, if you need more ideas, please look at the Sunspace Art website where you will find lots more resources and ideas. There are Make It workshops, and there are art and science workshops that you can do If you want to see what other children have made, there are lots of ideas there as well. Please remember, using art and science together is a good way to learn. And I would like to say goodbye from me, Helen Shell, and goodbye from the Sunspace Art team.